Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Somebody sent me a link to, it was a family member, so I watched it. It was a link to a talk show. You might have heard Bill Maher. And he was showing a graph of, over the years, a trajectory of the increase of gay people. And he showed the trajectory from 1940 to maybe, let's say, 2040 or something. And he said the way the graph is going, by 2040, the whole earth is going to be gay. As per the trajectory, if you read the graph, since 1940 the increase, if you follow that graph, by 2040, the whole globe is going to be gay. And it was actually meant to be a joke. But subhanAllah, this is so mind-boggling to see such a graph, particularly for the Muslims. Now, we have Muslims in Western civilization that are highly influenced by, to some degree, we all have this influence. I'm going to talk a little bit about influence first. I seen in some place, I can't remember if it was a museum or where it was, or if it was a picture or something I was reading, the power of influence. And the way they highlighted that was, there was a stone, there was maybe 5 identical stones, and there was water dropping on each stone. And the indent inside that stone was different depending on the volume of water that was falling on that stone. It was just drops, dropping. But the indent in those stones were bigger and bigger as the volume continued to drop. So even the one with the slowest of volumes, there was an indent in that stone. So there is a power of influence to the degree you'll see Muslim scholars or Muslim politicians, they have to side with the gay community because they're part of that circle of influence. They don't know how to respond to them that, no, this has nothing to do with me. Why do I need to tweet that, shout out to the gay community, it's June? Why? Why do I need to tweet, or why do I need to put up a message? I'm a Muslim, let's say. I'm a politician, let's say, or I'm an imam. Why do I need to send out a message to the gay community telling them that, you know what, the shout out to the gay community and we support, your whatever is happening with you, the people who are against you, we stand with you. There is many Muslim politicians, many Muslim scholars doing this. The problem with that is these Muslim scholars say correct the hadith. The politicians have a following, maybe millions of people. So when they have a following based on their faith. So some politician I'm following, let's say, because they're Muslim now. Now I'm having to see that poison through their feed. Allahu Akbar. It's amazing. I'm having to see this fitan through their feed. I'll give you an easier example. You can open Facebook. Let's say you liked Rogers. On Facebook, you were scrolling and you liked Rogers. You shared Rogers. Now Rogers' logo is a gay flag. Correct? Because it's June. And beside this Rogers gay flag, it said, Muhammad likes Rogers. Now, this is not a big deal. If you think about it, it's not a big deal. But then the question comes back into mind. Look at the trajectory. Look at the trajectory. Even the Muslims are so highly influenced, we're unable to speak against this. We have a freedom of religion. We have a freedom of identity. We have a freedom of just the way that gay pride person has a freedom, so do I. I don't have to say that I support gay. No, I don't support your alcohol. When you're drinking your alcohol, or when you have your days you're celebrating, when you're consuming your pork, it's got nothing to do with me. I have a freedom of religion. I have my way of life. There's nothing wrong with that. The law allows that for me. The law allows it for me to speak against something that's against my way, my fundamental beliefs. But when you're under influence, when you're under pressure, it becomes harder and harder, and the damage done to the ummah is far greater. When you're in a position of influence, you have, let's say, 2 million or 5 million followers. Most of them are going to be Muslim because you're a Muslim politician, because you're a Muslim imam, because you have a following maybe on YouTube. Now you sided with this type of people. What happens? This is, even if the first generation does not succumb to that, it passes on. The influence is there. The influence remains. Why is it there's bigger issues in the community? Why is it that you do not see in region of Waterloo, they actually, they make the police cruisers inclusive cruisers. Some of the cruisers are gay too now. They made the cruisers gay also. Some of the cruisers also are painted with these flags, and they have these nasty things on them. And this was last year. This year, they made the buses also gay. They made public transit going through the whole city gay. Look at us here. Here we go, proud.
They make cake gay, If you go there.
Theirs, and they have the cakes. So all of this is influence. All of this is making the difference. If not for on us, it has an influence on us. It'll soften us. The next generation. This is extremely problematic. So just like when we hear about pork and the disgust we have for it, just when we hear about alcohol and the disgust we have for it, similarly should be worse the disgust for this filthy action of what these people are doing. Hey, they can do it, but don't put it on me. I have freedom of religion. I have my own fundamental values. You cannot put that on me. You can do yourself whatever you want. You're eating your pork, you're consuming your alcohol, you're doing whatever you want. But this has nothing to do with me. Don't paint this on Islam. And this is increasing. What they're doing now, and why is it that it's particularly this? Why this? Why are they focusing on this? Why not pork and alcohol? What's the reason? Anybody can understand the reason here? Why? Why are they not focusing on pork and alcohol?
To destroy the families?
To destroy family, yes. To destroy iman. If you eat pork, your iman is still there. If you consume alcohol, your iman is still there. Behind this is the massive shayateen. These people worship the shayateen. The Quran says this, يُوحُونَ إِلَىٰ أَوْلِيَائِهِمْ. This is the shayateen. They worship the shayateen. They take assistance from the shayateen to make these decisions on how to manipulate the masses, how to destroy the hearts of the masses. So they're not pushing for pork because it doesn't destroy your iman. They're not pushing for alcohol because you're still a Muslim. You drink alcohol, you become sober, you're still a Muslim. But when it comes to this becoming gay, look at the hadith. Look what Allah did with the people of Lut alayhi salam. Look at the hadith, we'd be shocked. Ulama are, what the muhaddithin write in the books, it's kufr, 100%. You leave the folds of Islam. And the scholars are debating, how do we punish such a person who does such a deed? So they're using this tool to destroy the iman of the people. And it's not just Islam. Christians are also good people. Jews are also good people. The Abrahamic faiths. The issue is they're destroying them by the same tool. They've got them. You go to they have a gay church in the gay ceremony. The whole thing is happening in the churches. And now we have masajid happening too. We have queer, they call it queer masajid, happening. Now imagine, we talk about this, and there's Muslim people who are hurting. Allahu Akbar. There's Muslim people that say, wait, how dare you? How are you talking about this? Somebody might kill you, I said, this is freedom of my religion. When you tell me that I don't have freedom of my religion, wallah, it's haram for me to live here. I have to leave. I cannot live here. If you're telling me I don't have a freedom of my faith, that I have to say alcohol is okay for me, being gay is okay for me, I can no longer live here. This is what Islam is. So the power of influence is very strong. And I'm going to end with this. The power of influence is very strong. Now our children are, you see, you drive down the neighborhood. You drive, just like we went to someone's house and they had a toy. And just coincidentally, I pressed the word P. I pressed the word P, and it said P for pig. And my young son, who's only 3 years old, he's like, ew. He doesn't even know, but he's like, ew. Fitra. We pushing the influence into them. I didn't even know. I just pressed P. He said pig. He said ew. And then when we drive by, if there is a flag, a pride flag, what do we say? Astaghfirullah. Ew. Same thing. This is my way of life. I have the choice to choose. I don't agree with this. And why are they putting that flag? Why don't they put a big flag of alcohol, of Budweiser in front of these people love their alcohol. Why don't they put big flag Budweiser? They love their pork. Why don't they put a big flag of bacon flying in front of their house? Because it doesn't challenge your iman. What's challenging mine and your iman is this gate, and they're winning. Because what happens is, we people, we don't know how to answer. We're scared. We're scared. If someone comes and says something, we get scared. Oh no, I'm a minority. We get scared. Oh no, I don't know how to answer, or maybe I should just give in. We get pressure. It happens. But this is where is the test of our iman. The Prophet ﷺ said, time will come before the end of time where a person will have iman at night and not have iman in the morning. Will have iman in the morning and not have iman at night. Such fluctuation. This is what it is. You're unable to stand up for your fundamental beliefs and say, no, this is wrong. This is kufr. I cannot deal with this. You do it. Whatever you want, you do it. Don't put it on me. And now they have posters with a hijab. There's a movie they made in England. I think there were some people, they were protesting there. So this is just going to continue more and more. Yes.
I was looking at a post online, and it some Qurans have colored pages. So some verified Muslim guy wrote, we have Qurans for Muslim gay people as well.
Yeah. So once again, we should go away from this. We should not be using colorful Qurans. Even in my house, no, really. So it's all about the influence. Look, where did this come from? These colors, these colorful colors in the Quran, where's it come from? Where's it come from? This is something, tawatur or anything in this? Nothing. It's all made up. This whole thing, this putting these colorful things in the Quran, it should be removed as far as I'm concerned. Even in our house, like drawing rainbows, even buying things with rainbows. Nowadays you buy toys, and almost half the toys in the toy aisle has a rainbow on it. It's like, okay, what, is there nothing else left? The only thing left for kids is rainbows? So we don't buy them. We're conscious of that. But most people have no idea. Look, go to school, any public school, and you'll see, go to the classroom when they have art class, most of the kids are drawing in rainbows. It's not for no reason. It's not just a coincidence, that's just happening, and everybody just loves rainbows all of a sudden in our era. Yeah, of course. So in my house, we don't use rainbows. We don't draw rainbows at all. We hate them. Yes.
So for me, I'm just thinking about the workplace. I know now most of the workplaces in Canada, talking about this subject is taboo, or you cannot mention anything about that. You see things you shouldn't talk, because even your the code of conduct in your company, they tell you no, because
Yes.
people are going to feel segregated, so you have to just shut your mouth. You don't say anything.
Yeah.
How as a Muslim you should respond to these things.
So our Charter of Rights, our religious freedoms are very strong. So if someone initiates conversation, we shouldn't initiate conversation, but if someone initiates conversation, we say that this has nothing. We're very clear about our views. There's a freedom of faith.
But he's right. That's happened with me personally a month and a half. When someone asked me about it, and I said, I don't believe it's the right thing to do it. It's unnatural. They called me in HR and they made me sign on paper warning, and I don't have to say it. He's asking how can he save himself? Okay.
No, but see, that's a wrong statement what you gave.
It is.
No, it's correct, but the way it was said. So what I would have said, I said, listen, you're gay, you can be gay. I don't have a problem. You have your freedom. I have my freedom. Why are you pushing what's you on me? I don't want to do this. You understand? You do it. Do your thing. But this has nothing to do with me. Do whatever you have to do.
Yeah, and it's challenging because
It is very challenging.
Because it's in some other topic you can give your opinion, no problem.
Yeah.
But
Here,
on that,
Now the
Dave Chappelle.
on this one, they
I'm-
want to stick
Yeah,
point,
you
but-
probably heard of Dave Chappelle and his Netflix controversy. I not watched it at all, but he makes jokes about the gay people, and he always has. Dave Chappelle. So a lot of people stand against him. Somebody tried to hurt him too on stage just recently. I think he's a Muslim too, mashallah. He said, you can kill somebody of color. A police officer can kill somebody of color and get away with it. But if you say something, even make a joke against gay, they'll ruin your whole life. Why? Why is that the case? It's because there's an agenda there. It's destruction of the human from the inside. You destroy the human. Imagine, think about it. Imagine someone penetrates you from behind. You destroy the person. Think about it yourself. Imagine being penetrated in your anus. You're done, man. This is the reality. Wallahi, done. What's left in the person? Imagine both parties. Why Islam says haram even for the women to do this? Why Allah forbade this even for the women? Because it leads to this destruction. Because the men have the same hole. You can do the same thing there. So this destroys a person completely from the inside. It rips you apart. You're worse than this is a haywan. This is worse than an animal now. And now when you're worse than an animal, do whatever you want. Done. You're done. If we study the Quran and Sunnah, we will find. There's no way. Very, very hard to come back from these things.
No, sir. The issue is the legal ways they knew how to do. Like I said, we have the harassment in workplace and stuff. There's 4 chapters about that. They don't come in and say you are against it. Say, oh, this is harassment. Yeah, they coming and they're catching you from
Another angle. Yes.
angles, and they say, this is, I am feeling it's harassment. And the government, they put articles, harassment is not allowed totally 100% in workplace.
Yeah.
They come in and that time they threaten you and you lose your job.
Yeah. So, but that harassment also includes religious freedoms too. The thing is, we don't speak up. We get abused and we don't speak up. We think, oh, nothing's going to happen. We need to speak up. This actually happened to me before. I went to a clinic, and there was a doctor there. He owned the clinic, and my wife was wearing the abaya. I was too. And we sat there, and they didn't call us. They took our documents, and they didn't call us for a long time. We sat there 5 hours. It's just a walk-in clinic. People come and go, come and go, come and go. So I went to the reception. I said, we've been sitting here for 5 hours. You've not called us in. People come and go, come and gone. The lady, it was a white lady. She's like, oh, I forgot you were here. I thought you left. I said, well, my document's sitting right in the desk. I can see right from the window here. This is my health card right there. What are you talking about? Oh, we'll call you in right now. I said, now it's too late. Call the doctor. Call the person who owns the clinic. They did not call him. So I took my health card back. I left. I went, phoned OHIP. I phoned the Ministry of Health. I got that clinic got shut down. That clinic got shut down. That doctor phoned me and he apologized. Of course. The problem, we don't speak up. We get abused and we don't say nothing. There was another guy, we had a landlord. He was abusive. He was a racist. He was a bigot too. So what I did was, I didn't know how to deal with this guy. So in my house, I took the light bulb, I was renting, and I dulled the light bulb. I took my guns and I displayed them all on the walls. And then I told him, I said, there's a light bulb in my room, come fix it. And he came. And he fixed the light bulb, he seen the guns. After that, he was a completely new man. So we don't speak up. It's legal. What are you going to do about it? Can't do nothing, it's legal. So we don't need to be chickens and hide. You know, it's just we need to speak up.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We can't speak up. They
That's
may
the,
decide
that's
on
the
paper.
right issue. It was happening with me when I was in Dinamar. They fired me over there. And the last job I was in with pharmaceutical company. That guy, he was gay. He was harassing me too much. He gave me shit all the time when I was working with him night shift.
Yeah.
Then I came in day shift. One girl, she said, I have a boyfriend and I have a girlfriend. I said, oh man, what kind of satan it is. You know what I mean?
This is funny, but wallah, this is unfortunate.
So
Really.
one of the Karachi boy, I say, I don't understand. She say, I have a boyfriend and I have a girlfriend. So then he teach me, you go and type. They call polo, P-O-L-O, polo. I say, I don't have interest in polo or gay or anything. Well, I have to work with these kind of people.
Yeah. And influence, right? Influence, wallah, influence. And like I said, this is the problem. How are they allowing this? You cannot have a second wife, but you can have a husband and a wife.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because once you use the backside, there is nothing.